Alright, welcome back everyone, Zaf here. As you can see, our testing for KANAE is complete. Is she a skippable unit, or is she a meta-defining unit that we have to summon for? I'll cover that in this video, don't worry. And also when it comes to our current fire units, does she replace them, or is she the best unit now? What about you, SOOHYUN? Is she no longer meta? I'll cover all of that with you, of course, including the best advances for KANAE. You want to make sure you summon her to the efficient points, but is that even relevant anymore? Do we just summon our DPS units all the way to A5? Sweet spots may no longer exist, but everything will be covered. Do stay tuned, that way you know exactly what to do when it comes to the brand new unit, KANAE Tuada. And very quick everyone, for free codes, make sure if you haven't yet to support us, the link is down below. It is 100% free. You press this button here, you link your account, that way I can send you a bunch of juicy codes sent directly to the website. Up top, after supporting, wait a few hours and then go to your My page. This is what it looks like. You scroll down, my name should come up here. You keep scrolling and boom, receive benefits. Right now, we have 4 codes available, so make sure you support us. That way you do not miss out. Now let's cover KANAE. We test her out, and her main focus points are in the guild boss battle, but how about DEIMOS? Very important. She was actually a very capable hunter. I cleared hard mode using her and used SOOHYUN, but who was better? So I do have our testing results here, so let me show you very quick. As you can see, this was our initial testing of KANAE in the guild boss battle, the brand new one. This is her A1 mark. She got 563 million damage in, almost to the point of Thomas Andre, who was at A10 with an A10 weapon. This is KANAE A1, so one advancement with an A5 weapon. That's honestly an amazing result. As we scroll down here, you can see she starts dishing out even more damage, but do note, this was using the Obsidian set, which is a huge problem on her, and I'll cover why. As you go down here, we have the Obsidian set, we have the Expert set, and this is KANAE at the A3 mark, so the 3rd advancement. She is performing very nice going forward, but as you can see, the Obsidian set has a very lower damage result. These are both KANAE's results at the A3 mark. The only thing that was changed was her artifact sets. So you're probably wondering what's going on in terms of the difference in damage. That's because KANAE guzzles down mana like it's water. She is thirsty. She is one mana hungry gal. She spams her skills non-stop, so we cannot proc the Obsidian set. If you're new to the game or unaware, this is set here. This gives us a 60% damage increase as long as our mana is above the 40% mark. So let me just jump in and show you exactly what I mean. If we go to the guild boss battle, we're just gonna jump in. We're not looking at the damage numbers. We're just looking at KANAE and her mana usage. Watch very carefully. You'll see exactly what I mean. It's honestly surprising how much mana she uses. That's because her skills keep resetting. They have a 3-phase stage and they come up very fast. Her kit does have additional cooldown reduction, or I guess cooldown removal with some of her skills. So watch, look at Team A, look down below, look at how fast her mana is going down. It's getting drained non-stop. It's just going down and down and down every time she uses a skill. Watch, boom, she's already almost at halfway. That's because she spams. She's a spammer. She is just a spammer. But the Obsidian set just won't work on her. She's already almost at the 40% mark, meaning she's about to lose 60% damage increase, which is a lot. You don't want to have that damage result being removed. So KANAE, yeah, she is not going to be an Obsidian set user. A lot of you might say, well, what about the Executioner set? That set is fine as long as you can get a target 70% HP, but for the guild boss battle, it resets every time you get the rage countdown, so watch carefully. Look at the Queen Knight's HP, bam, 100% again. That means the 60% damage increase was gone because we're no longer at the 70% HP mark, so execution doesn't work. But what set does? Honestly, the best set that I tried was the Expert set right now. It worked out so well. Even though she had mana issues, it worked out just fine in my opinion. So as you can see here, she's always around the 30-ish% mana mark. So Obsidian set just won't work. Expert set, it's probably the way to go. I will have an updated video covering the best sets for her, don't worry, but Obsidian is honestly just not it. Now, going back to the testing results, as we go down even more, this is her A5 result with Expert Obsidian. Honestly, yeah, big difference. A 50% damage increase. Everything else was fairly consistent, but KANAE, yeah, she had a major damage increase just because she was never above the 40% mark. to get the 60% damage increase. So, Obsidian, sorry, although you're very good, for KANAE, you're just not right. But as you can see, her damage is insane. This is her A5, not A10, A5 Thomas Andre, A10 weapon, A10 hunter, insane results there. Now, we have expert and the new core, this one here, that does reduce our mana regen. But also with the reduction in our mana regen, it reduces our mana consumption. So every time you spam a skill, the amount of mana used is lowered, meaning this core right here is perfect for KANAE. This core is only at level 1 with a 16% bonus, meaning we had a lot of damage left on the table. In this run, she was using a very capable core with max stats, so honestly this core here is going to be a must. We tried the red one too, the brand new one, and it didn't work out as well in my opinion. She kept running out of mana. This one's only a one-time bonus, whereas this one is a constant reduction, so I would prefer using this one. That's my opinion. You can test out both, but this one here honestly worked out much better. And as we go down here, more testing coming in again. This was with the red one, these ones here. This is with the purple one. And as you can see, she had a lot more damage using this core, much better. But I do want to show you one thing. This is KANAE with an A9 weapon, and she's at the A9 mark. She had 2.1 billion. Jinwoo did not participate. That means our damage is obviously way lower, but she just beat out Thomas Andre to an insane degree. That means in the current guild boss run, she is the meta-defining hunter, and that's just because for KANAE, she's good due to the guild boss not having any defense. Yes, they have no defense, meaning we do not need SOOHYUN. I know, what a shocker. Now, what about her versus SOOHYUN in the guild boss battle? Very important, let me show you. They had the same advancements. Actually, SOOHYUN was A10, she was A9. They had the same artifacts, the best ones in slot for them, and the best cores possible. And this was the damage result. 1 billion for SOOHYUN, but 2.1 billion for KANAE. That's just because SOOHYUN only excelled when there was a lot of defense penetration required. With the Ant Queen, she has minimal defense, so her passives just aren't used. SOOHYUN fell off so quick, it's so sad. I'm actually disappointed, but that's fine. She wasn't, I guess, built for the Ant Queen, but KANAE is. It's her role right now to smash the Ant Queen. Not Shaw, but KANAE. Very interesting results. But the next question you'll ask is, well, Zaf, what about the hard mode when it comes to Deimos? Honestly speaking, even for Deimos, KANAE came out ahead for me. It's kind of weird, but for the first phase, when it came to the Hazy Tomb of the Dead, she scored a better time by a few seconds, 15 seconds, in the hard mode. SOOHYUN got 320, that means how long we played the game for, so 3 minutes and 20 seconds, whereas KANAE got 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Look at her smiling, she knows she cooked. And the same thing happened when it came to the final boss. We got 1 minute 9 seconds remaining for the final battle, the Abyssal Execution Scaffold, but when it came to SOOHYUN, we had 20-ish seconds left, so honestly, KANAE did perform much better in every single avenue, which is a bit concerning. Not concerning in a bad way, but just concerning because SOOHYUN might have just lost her spot as the main damage dealer, as the main unit for our fire teams. What a weird situation to live in, where she was the best hunter for about, what, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and now she's back to just being an okay hunter. Still very strong, top tier, but not as good as she was before in comparison to our brand new fire unit. Now, jumping back in the game, the main question is, what are the best advances for KANAE? Honestly speaking, when it comes to your DPS units, it's always going to be, in my opinion, A5 or bust. There's no point getting a unit all the way to A1, A3, when you're going to use them for their damage. She is a very capable damage dealer. That's why for KANAE, getting her to A1 doesn't do her justice. Although she gets useful passives, they're not just good enough at the A1 mark. Compare this 6th Sense to the A5 mark. Watch this. We get a 20% crit rate bonus, and when our mana falls to 20% or less, her mana consumption decreases by 40%. Watch down here, look, A5. The user's attack increases by 77%. That's probably the largest attack increase I have ever seen. And also a crit rate and crit damage increases by 20% as well. And this is even better, if the user's mana falls under 30% or less, their consumption decreases by 50%. Meaning this kind of fixes their mana issues, not necessarily, but it does help out a ton. Her A4 is honestly very good too. A 36% fire elemental damage increase, insane. So, if you're getting her to A4, why stop there? You have to get her to A5. Her A3 mark is fine, more or less. When she uses a skill here, she does get an effect as we see listed here. Let me go back down. Boom. They gain super armor effect for 5 seconds, but also using this skill here decreases the cooldown of this skill for 5 seconds, so it's okay. It's kind of mid actually. It's not the best. The super armor is very helpful, but it's not like her main damage dealing point. So that's why I'm mentioning this, because A4, A5 is where she starts stacking on that juicy damage. A1 is good too. It's not like she's bad. A2 is just crit damage increase, it's whatever. But A4, A5 are the points you want to rush towards. I mean, come on. 77% attack. Insane damage result. Oh, I have nothing to say besides. This is one of the craziest passives we had in a very long time in a hunter. She is self-sufficient. So much crit coming in, making her one of the most viable hunters today for the guild boss and also for the DEIMOS mode, the hard mode. But you don't need a summon for. That's the thing. The guild boss is kind of just a mode right now that has no real merit to it. Sure, you can get a fancy little, I guess, like score result where you can't share around with your friends, but it's just kind of pointless. We don't get anything out of it. That's the issue. Look at the rage rewards. We only need 15 in total. That means 7 in one run and 8 in one run. And then that's so you get the max awards and the co-op rewards. You need 500 in total. So like, what's the point here? I have no idea. You don't necessarily need KANAE. She's fine. She's a very good unit. Actually, she's a very good unit, honestly, for this mode. But until they increase the rewards tier, she's not skippable. She's just not needed. She's very good. I'm assuming she'll be needed later on when they do add rankings to the guild boss mode. That way we actually need units that can clear the Ant Queen, but right now, at a 500 rage count and at a 15 personal rage count, I don't see the point in her. You can just use SOOHYUN if you want, even though her damage is probably like 50% of KANAE. It's probably way less actually. KANAE can deal major damage, even more than Thomas Andre, probably ×2. So for this mode, she's a must, but summoning for her right now, doing the Ant Queen, doesn't benefit you at all. So let me just wait a bit, see if the devs do implement changes to the Ant Queen. That way we know for a fact KANAE is a must. But if you do not have SOOHYUN, and you have Gina, and you have Essel, KANAE is honestly the way to go in my opinion. She made it so easy. Hard mode was a breeze with her. It was surprisingly harder with SOOHYUN. Took longer. I guess the effects we had, the brand new modes, when it comes to DEIMOS running around more, made using SOOHYUN just a bit harder. So KANAE is the way to go. Oh, I know, it's weird times we live in, where the brand new hunter is again suddenly the best, which is fine though, it's a gacha game. We do want power creep in a sense. That's all you save up for summons, that's all we save for wrestling. So, if you want to have a unit that can absolutely melt the brand new Guild Boss battle, but also melt the brand new hard mode DEIMOS mode in the workshop, you should be summoning for KANAE. Otherwise, if you have SOOHYUN maxed out, she's not a necessary must. Unless you want to get a good Guild Boss score, you can clear DEIMOS using SOOHYUN, you're just fine. So do note that, SOOHYUN is good, KANAE is good, but KANAE is just a bit better, at least in my eyes, based on the testing we've done. But if you enjoyed, make sure to drop your like, do subscribe to the channel, that way I do know you want more content like this, but also, in a future video I'll cover the best build for her, that way you know exactly what to run on one of the best hunters yet. And finally again, do not forget to support us in the link down below, that way you don't miss out on free codes. But on that note, this is your Code King Zaf, signing out.